said I'd wear it for you lads, and I've done it. Jesus, is it a bit tight, this? Jeez.
Are we too early for Gary? Does he like his 20 minutes to himself?
I do like a bit more peace.
Oh, well, tell us to come later.
I do like peace.
Jesus.
I do like peace before you come in.
We all like peace.
I just like preparing myself. And you're...
What? I'm here.
You're here, ready to go. You're ready to go.
Do you want me to come back?
No,
I'll sit over here. I'll see what... I'll listen to you.
Sit over there. I've got tea.
Gary wants a bit of time.
I need a bit of time before Roy comes. We need a bit of time before Roy comes in, Kieran, don't we?
We usually do, to be fair.
We do. We like a little bit of time. I think I'm going to have some of Roy's tea.
No wonder it gets cold. You bring it out too early.
Well, you just come in, so I just brought it in.
Yeah, I know, but there's no way that's piping hot.
It is.
It will be.
Has it got something in it?
It's just Earl Grey.
Oh. I feel like it had orange in it.
Is this where they do the fan zone stuff here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it yesterday, Roy.
With Scholesy on?
With Scholes, yeah.
Kieran, how was it?
I thought it was brilliant.
Was there any Arsenal fans here?
There was Clive.
Clive's good.
Is that the guy?
knows
Is that the
Clive.
guy we know?
Yeah, Righty knows Clive.
Is that the guy we
Arsenal fan, don't you?
Which, yeah, Clive Palmer, man. The great Clive Palmer.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
He speaks really slow.
Yes.
Slow, and you keep it. What was that, Clive?
You could learn. You could learn from that.
I know.
You could learn
That's the old Bob Paisley one, that.
You could learn from Clive.
Bob
Speaking
Have I
of
met him before?
Clive.
Is he live? Is he like...
Oh, no, you're thinking
he's-
of Robbie, when Robbie was on it when you did it.
Robbie Lyle, you're talking
We
now.
had Robbie and...
Who's the fellow who's like big on Arsenal TV or something?
That's Robbie, yeah.
Oh, that's Robbie, so
Yeah.
not him.
I
He
know
was
Clive.
ready, he could mate to have a go at me when I met him
Was
a couple
he?
years ago, yeah. Do you remember we
Yeah,
did
but he's a
something?
nice guy.
He couldn't... He
He's a
wanted to
lovely
jump
guy.
in on me or something. I was
What's
like...
the deal?
After the game, he was hugging me. He was, I said, I like Arsenal.
Is he?
Respect for Arsenal. Oh,
No. Listen, man, there's no bad Arsenal fans, bro.
Kieran, what was the name of the Arsenal fan called? The mad one?
There's
that,
no-
No, I'm talking about in that...
Oh, yeah.
In
Sorry.
that, obviously for a G.
Ty.
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 Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
Ty with all the gear
That's
on.
who I'm talking about, yeah.
Ty's amazing.
He loved
We
Carragher.
should get fans in for Stick to Football some weeks.
You do? Don't you do a fan debate show?
They do it, yeah. But I'm just saying we should get fans in sometimes to do, like, you know, people round here and sit at the table.
Oh, we did one yesterday, it went off.
Did it go off?
It went off,
What,
yeah.
arguing?
Yeah, that's what going off means.
Yeah.
But in what way? Who's arguing?
Jill here today.
Yeah.
The Man City.
Where is she?
She's coming.
Oh,
He's good, yeah, he's good.
What are you getting back to something?
are we against having people sat in these chairs, like, and being able to ask questions on Stick to Football or not? I think we should bring people in.
Yeah, I think that's what Ricey just said. You've got one of them.
What did you say?
You've got another show for that, haven't you?
Yeah. Haven't you got the fan base show?
Should do another-
for the fans to come.
Do it in podcast.
I'm sure you could squeeze another podcast.
It's true though, but these seats are. Yeah, look, it's a really nice vantage point,
Yeah, I
isn't
might
it?
go sit over there.
Let me see if I'm just like be a fan, just like listening to you lot.
Right, he could give you a little beer there. Just in that
Yeah.
corner. Be nice, that, wouldn't it?
Just like that, yeah.
I tell you what, last time I see you have beer, Ricey,
Go on.
when you was late for that show that we did.
Why is everyone throwing ladies on my name? What show was it?
He was late last week.
Hey, ciao, Tate. Huh? What'd you say now?
Yes, got back.
What are you digging me out for? What's going? Why'd you have to jump in? Why did you have to jump in?
Oh, be nice.
Come on.
My
Hey,
dad.
whose phone is that? Whose phone is that? Look at Kez's.
That's the second time it's gone off.
Pocket dial.
Come on, man, Kez.
Forgive me.
How are you?
I'm not bad, how are you?
I'm great.
You smell nice.
I know I do.
Do you know when you go over to get the ball from a fan and, and they're close to you and they throw it back at you really hard?
yeah.
And they just booted it.
Yeah.
But I missed the fan that threw it and it hit a kid.
We weren't time wasting.
Righty,
Still going for
watch the game.
We were still
Watch
going
the
for
last
that,
10, 15 minutes. Arsenal v Brighton, please.
I understand when a manager comes in and director of football's already there, they've obviously given you the job. But when you're Eddie Howe and you came in when that club was bottom of the league, you saved them.
Yep.
We come on here every week, ex-Liverpool, City, United, and we've criticised our old clubs. When it comes to Arsenal, you're like, oh no.
I'm not going to criticise them. And it's not.
I know you're not, that's my problem.
Right, I've got to speak to you about your Instagram post.
Which one? What, my Ireland? Have you
Don't laugh at me, though.
Why was you laughing? Because I'm a shit house myself.
No, just like, I'm going to video myself and I'm just going to go for Haaland.
You know something? You know what
Well,
happened?
why'd you do that on Sunday? What?
It wasn't-
We
no, no,
can
no,
all
no,
have a few days
no,
to
no, no,
reflect on
no,
the
no.
game. Do you know what? If you're working on a Sunday, bang, do
You
it
know what
then.
happened?
Not in a minute where you can reflect on it.
I'll tell you exactly what happened, right? Tell you exactly what happened. I was on my way to the Premier League for my Kelly Wright show, and I hit a pothole and I got a complete flat in my Mini. So I'm sitting there, phoned all the people, everybody who's going to come and do the recovery and that. And while I'm sitting there, that was a shit house move.
And why did you say that on the Sunday?
No, I did say it on Sunday, but I didn't say how I said it like that. But I did say it was a cowardly move.
That's fair enough.
You know what I
we-
mean? Hey, bro, I'm not hiding from no one.
The four
I know it's a shit
of
house,
us round this table were, to be fair, the masters of shithouse moves, weren't we, at times?
I think
Speak for yourself, Karen.
I probably would.
No, it is. Wait, well, how can you say we, four of us?
I kicked a ball at a fan. He threw a coin back in
When
at,
did you kick a ball at fan?
at Everton away.
Did
when
you
he
do it
got
on
sent
purpose?
off.
Blast it at him?
No, because when I went over to get the ball for throwing, they threw it at me and it landed back at my feet and I booted it back.
Did you get
in
sent
the
off for it?
Yeah. You
sent off for that?
Yeah. You threw a coin back in the crowd. You pulled Reggie Binker's hair.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, but to be honest,
Did you?
yeah, but the thing is that this is what I'm saying
You
about.
numerous times did things that were
Never done,
potential.
not that
No,
long.
but the thing was,
Exactly what you did.
the
eh?
reason
Exactly,
why as well,
Gary,
James.
exactly.
Let me explain and
Right.
clear up the
Can we
shithouse
in the back,
move.
can we think of shithouse
I
things that
know,
Roy did,
I know
please?
it's a cowardly move because what I done to Reggie was a cowardly move. So as soon as I saw, I said, I wouldn't do that. His back's turned, his shirt's over his head. This is a rivalry you're building. You're going to do a little shithouse move like that. Me and Reggie, in the end, it weren't a good thing because obviously Reggie with his dreadlocks, it's all about the rasta hair and stuff. Can't touch it. It was very disrespectful, like I say. So I apologised to him and everything. Made sure I apologised to him. And then we played together at Celtic. We sorted it out properly. But I know what a bullshit move is. I know what a cowardly move is.
Yeah, but the beauty of sport, when someone does something like that to you, you'll meet him again.
Absolutely.
Very, very simple.
We've seen.
Very, very simple.
Yeah, we've seen.
Meet again. Oh, no way.
And you look at him, you go, next time I play again.
Layla.
Jill,
Hey guys.
Jill, you're late again.
Oh, God, I'm not
Gorgeous.
late.
Come here. You look gorgeous.
Jill, what's the biggest...
How gorgeous you are.
Talking about
Jill.
shithousery, what's the biggest shithousery,
Jill, you
Jill,
okay?
you've ever had?
Of what?
Where you pull someone's hair or you throw the ball at someone's head. What's the thing? Have you ever done that?
Oh my God, I seen his with Sheba on
What, his
Instagram.
little rubbishy
Yeah,
little
and
fight?
you were
What did he
just
do?
stood there, did you not? Can you not remember it?
I do in the corner at Newcastle.
Yeah, and he threw the ball off Sheba. I watched it
I
yesterday.
saw the elbow though.
You know what?
I saw that.
I know. Did you see him go like that? Like a little.
You were absolutely
He had a little
fuming.
rant against Al. What's
That's-
happening?
but that's from previous
I'm going to keep that
Oh,
so you don't
okay.
have to do a lot of makeup.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, yeah.
There was
what I think I've
about
seen
there was
it.
about 5 players holding you back. I was
So
like,
you
oh
threw
my
the ball
God.
at Shearer like Haaland did at Gabriel?
So he was stopping me from taking the throw. He was slowing the game down.
I don't. Yeah, he didn't really do that
Yeah,
much.
I
to be honest.
never started anything like that, ever, in my career with anybody.
Did you...
Don't worry about how it sits, Lels.
Did you think
trying to think if
that,
I've done
on reflection, if you throw the ball at someone's head on purpose,
Oh, yeah, it could be sent off.
it's a red card, that, isn't it? Do you think that's a red card? I know.
Yellow.
No, I'm saying, do you think that's a red card?
No, but you could see it being sent off, but yeah.
You'd
You
say
got
it
a red though,
You know
didn't
something?
you?
If he had a yellow before
Yeah.
and you do that, you could
Was it
probably.
second yellow, I got?
You could probably be.
Was it a second yellow card or straight red? He got a red card.
I got a red card for that throw now.
Throwing the ball at... Yeah, so you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've done anything. Have you done anything?
I kicked the ball at a fan.
Beg you, darling, please.
By accident? Yeah, but...
No, not by accident.
Oh, it wasn't?
Do you know when you go over to get the ball from a fan and it's and they're close to you and they throw it back at you really hard?
yeah.
And it bounces off your chest, hits the wall, comes back to me, and I just booted it.
Yeah.
But I missed the fan that threw it and it hit a kid.
See, that's what can happen.
Sorry.
See, Gal?
Oh, sorry.
Fortunate.
If you're gonna do,
I missed the target
you've
for 2
to
yards.
You've got to get your shit house right. You've got an innocent.
You said
kid.
that on commentary, didn't you?
What?
Housery.
There's just
Housery.
housery. There's some housery
Yeah, that's
going on.
some housery going on.
Yeah.
But it all adds to it, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
like it.
Especially when the rivalry is starting to get spicy. It's starting to
If
get
he knew,
spicy.
if he knew it was him, do you think he would have run after him straight away, or
Ooh.
when it happened on
Gabriel.
Saturday? Yeah. Do you think he would have reacted if he knew it was him, or did he think there was so much going on?
No, he
He'd-
had to
you'd
take the
think he'd
shirt.
realise
He had
it.
to take the shirt off and go, "Who's that? Who done
Yeah.
that?"
Roy,
I don't think so. I think he'll wait.
if someone threw the ball at your head like that, you would go after them 100%.
Yeah, if it was that situation right at the end of the game, where they've just conceded a goal. Yeah, you would, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think you'd realise who it
The problem I've
was.
had with it this week, trying to explain to certain people, and I'm talking about it because I've said my stuff and then they're throwing all the stuff what I've supposedly done. I said,
Supposedly.
Allegedly. I said, listen, if you want someone to talk about shithousery, then you want to speak to a shithouse. But like the people are saying things to me. People are saying things
And
to
we
me.
got the best.
Like the people are saying to me, like, the things what you got up to, But like,
But that doesn't mean to say you can't give your opinion on something, though, isn't
but
it?
it's the way that was done. What I made, because I'm watching, I think it just felt a little bit like it's a bullshit move. That's all I was thinking.
And it was. I don't think anyone
That's all
will.
I'm saying. You know what I
No
mean?
one's disagreeing with you, Righty.
You know what? I just thought it was hard.
No, I
The
didn't
reason
go
I
back
thought
to
it
what
was
you
funny
done, but
was-
what he done was wrong.
I don't think he's just. You could see Alan, sometimes it's just something you think there's not, he's just a bit mad, isn't he?
What's going on up there?
And he's just picked the ball up and someone's got the shirt over the head and he's just gone back. I don't even think he knows who it is. I think he's just gone, boom.
James, I'm not going to sit here and say it's something that in the moment and when I was playing and how I wouldn't have done. But that doesn't excuse the fact that it's a bullshit thing to do.
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, class.
Well, was it just after they'd scored?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're on top anyway, aren't you, really?
But maybe, yeah.
After the...
He didn't get carded
After
for
they
it, though, did
after
he?
they drew against our 10 men celebrating City. Yeah.
It was a mad game, though, wasn't it? It was a mad game.
Goody Arsenal. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is sponsored by Howe. Back in my playing days at United and England, our meal plans were strict, but getting proper nutrition on the move wasn't always easy, especially when I was rushing home from training or travelling to a match. I wish I'd had something like Huel back then. Huel is a game changer. Take this black edition ready to drink. It's formulated by nutritionists to be the ultimate meal on the go. It's perfect if, like me, you're always short on time, but you want something better than unhealthy snacks or fast food. With Huel's Black Edition, you get 35 grams of protein, 26 essential vitamins and minerals, and over 170 health benefits, packed all into one bottle. And the best way to find out how well it works, try Huel's Taster Bundle. You'll get a range of their products like this and decide which one's best for you. My favourite is definitely the vanilla. So if you're an athlete, a professional, or just want a healthier option when you're on the move, give the Taster Bundle a go. Join the millions who love Huel and unlock your offer now at huel.com/theoverlap. That's huel.com/theoverlap.
How bad were Arsenal? Oh my God.
Anyone know when the return is?
Oh my. Can I tell you something?
Is it very late, is it? Or is it like Feb or something?
You know the way Arsenal set up on Sunday for the
serious
second
about
half?
how bad were
Let me
Arsenal?
finish. You've just been speaking for the last 3.5 hours. Right? If anyone else, if Tony Pulis, Sam Allardyce, Steve Bruce, Neil Warnock set a team up like that for the second half, they're dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Arsenal set up, and I mean not wrong with defending, I'm on about them when they did get the ball. A couple of times they were just booting it out of play.
What should he have done?
But Arsenal do it, it's like, oh, brilliant.
What should Arsenal... What should he have done?
Concentration levels.
What should he have done?
No, I don't mind defending, but I'm saying when they did win the ball, when they won it back every now and again, try and look after it, try and get up the pitch. There was a couple of incidents where, I think White, it just bounced and he just kicked it out of play.
Yeah.
Wright, a couple of times, just kicked it up the pitch. This is Arsenal we're talking about. I'm not talking about a championship team that's gone in the FA Cup where they're hanging in there. Remember they got a clean sheet there last year, so they have got results. They have got results there, right?
Yeah,
I'm on about when they not knowing with defending and going deep, no problem. But when they got it, you go, no, can you try and do something? They were just booting it.
Listen,
They
we've
needed
seen...
a
we've
forward,
seen
though.
can I just say...
Odegaard's a lost to him for that side of it, I
Massive
have to
loss.
say.
Massive
Yeah.
loss in respect of our creativity. Maybe it would have been different if he was playing.
I'm putting his foot in it, definitely.
But we've seen what Man City do to teams that go down to 10 men there. You have to do something different. Well, it nearly worked. I'm not even going to lie and say I've seen that before where you haven't had an outlet, because you need to give the defenders a breather at some stage. That's what you need. But without Odegaard to maybe get on it to be...
It was a loss to him,
to be able to pass it out to somebody to get the foul, to actually play, wasting time, going down
But
for
Righty,
fouls.
we come on here, right? We come on here every week. We ex-Liverpool, City, United, and we've criticised our old clubs. Unbelievable. We criticise United. But when it comes to Arsenal, you're like,
I'm not going to criticise them. And it's not...
I know you're not. That's my problem.
Yeah, but I'm not going to criticise them, especially at Manchester City with 10 men trying to win a game.
But no,
and staying behind
let
the
us
ball.
finish.
That don't make sense.
No one's kind of criticised. They got a draw. They got 2 goals, and there's a lot of pluses, and they're obviously getting closer to City. There's lots of pluses, but I'm just saying there was times in the game, and you telling me you've watched the game that Arsenal said, do you know what, lads, maybe you just need to look after.
Yeah,
That's
but
all I'm
Roy,
saying.
Right, of course I was thinking, with 10 men, you do need an outlet so as you can get a breather.
Yeah.
But in the end,
You keep
the
saying
way
with 10 men as if like it's
I
never been
thought-
done before.
That's at Man City.
I'll tell you now, Arsenal, go back.
Man City have not even...
Brilliant point, right? 3 weeks ago, you please, when you finish this show, go and watch the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes when Arsenal were playing Brighton and they're at home. They've got 10 men. Wow, unbelievable. And they were time wasting against Brighton at home. So forget this idea. It was Man City.
They were time wasting.
Just watch it, please. Will you do me that favour when you're going back?
We weren't time wasting.
Righty, watch the game. Watch the last 10, 15 minutes. Arsenal v Brighton. Please.
We're talking
3
about,
or 4 weeks
We're
ago.
talking about City now.
I know, but you keep going. But it's Man City. They were doing it against Brighton.
They were time wasting.
Man City beat Chelsea 6-0, 5-0 Liverpool.
Right, they were time wasting.
What do you mean?
Arsenal were time wasting.
Yeah, but I read something...
Yeah, but that's
I'm not going to go at it, but you said they weren't time wasting. They were time wasting.
People who went down for cramp all went off.
The keeper went down.
The goalkeeper.
I'll give you that.
The goalkeeper.
I'll give you the goalkeeper.
How many injuries did he
That
get?
happens in the women's
That
game.
was
I'll give you the
definitely
goalkeeper.
one.
The goalkeeper. I'll give you that.
I'll give you the
The goalkeeper's definitely a tactic.
I think it was the fifth height.
Oh, righty.
Yeah.
No, but look,
At least, but let's be honest.
No, you're not digging at Arsenal for trying to...
I'm not digging out anyone.
Yeah, Righty, can I give you the
smiling.
stats?
Your smile is making me angry.
I'm not digging out anyone yet.
You're laughing.
What I'm going to say, though, I did think on Sunday that the 5 at the back was the right thing to do. I did think they would go with then the 3 in front and then 1.
Yeah, 1.
That's the only thing.
I did say that a few times, and I thought, to just go back, and then it ended up being a 6-3 because Martinelli ended up going back into.
Yeah, but it worked. It did work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, this is a great stat. In the whole game, so even when they had 11 men,
11,
do you know,
we had 11.
you had 11 men for half of football. Kai Havertz never made one pass.
There was 2 of them, weren't there?
And
In
Julian
the-
Timber.
That was in the second half of
Yeah, but then you look at it in the second. Yeah, but then you think about
That's
it. and you
pretty
think-
unbelievable,
Yeah, but
man.
what does that stat prove? That okay, he didn't. Did it make any difference to his output in that game?
Even the first 45 minutes,
I'm
when it was 11v11.
I'm torn here a little bit, Righty, because I think that I did think Arsenal's concentration and their defensive work was brilliant. But then I started to think about teams in history of when they've been in these types of position. Yeah. And the best I've ever seen, I'll come on to 99 semi-final, Roy getting sent off, our best player, and then we go and beat one of the best Arsenal teams you'll ever see on the counter-attack, and we do attack and we do score.
10.
But you get John Terry gets sent off against the greatest football team of all time, in the new camp, and I'm in the commentary box and I'm commentating, and they go and basically...
Torres scores at the end, doesn't he?
Torres, yeah, because they...
So my point is, when you really do need to make that extra step, that extra giant leap, which is the thing, there is an element of sometimes you have got to think. I thought Arsenal had to score in the second half to probably get the win. I did think that at some point. I think I said it. I think you've got to then think, right, I've got to get a set piece. I've got to have someone up front to win a free kick, to get a set piece, to get a corner, to get a goal. You've got to think that way. We've got to get one goal. And that was the only thing. And it was a brilliant thing what they did.
A great effort.
A great effort.
Yeah.
But just back in history, there are teams who've got over the line.
Yeah, but
They did, but I think to go and win, and just, you know how big that would have been at the end if they'd have won that game.
Yeah,
it would have been monumental. It would have been like, oh my God.
That would have been such a big ask.
This is the last time I'm going to say it, but go back 3 or 4 weeks ago. Arsenal, with 10 or 15 minutes to go, please, people watch it.
Yeah, I watched it.
They've done the same against Brighton.
They went to 5 at the back
goalkeeper went
against
down at Brighton at home. So this idea, they've gone to the great Man City. Their mindset against Brighton at home was exactly the same.
Yeah, but
that's my argument.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, my argument for the City
that was for
game,
a draw.
My argument for the City game is that how long was it before they could have maybe got that right in respects of...
Was Saka injured? So for me, again, that was a surprising thing because he's the one player that can get from box to box quicker than anybody else in the Arsenal
quicker
team.
than Martinelli as well.
It was going to be more Martinelli.
I think quicker than Martinelli probably.
Well, Martinelli was doing really well, wasn't he, against...
No, he was, and Martinelli had a good day, but I'm just saying to take Saka off as well.
It's the only thing, Gal, that I look at in that game and think to myself, well, as something I've not seen, even when you're playing, you're normally that one up front who tries to...
I don't know why.
I'm not even bothered about the one up front. I'm on about when you got it, still look after it.
Yeah, but...
Don't worry, even the extra man up, not the extra man, but if you're on playing one up, don't even worry about that. But when you do get it, try and get 4, 5, 6 passes. They were just booting it like a small team, like a small team with a small mentality.
You're digging out the manager.
Digging out the players.
Oh, there's your headline.
But you need that.
You don't need to look at the manager and say, what pass do I play? No, you're playing at a pretty high level. I'm on about getting 4 or 5 passes, sorry.
Okay.
When I say England international players, and I mean just booting it out of play going,
I'll take that,
what are you,
Roy.
League 1, League 2?
I'll take that, Roy, but he's obviously worked on that. He's worked on that.
Yeah, it was
The corner's done him in the end, but he's worked on that. Yes, he might have done that against Brighton. He tried to do it against
Well,
City.
he'd come out,
it
didn't he?
nearly
He's
worked.
come out, Mikel Arteta, and said,
No,
I'm not,
but I mean-
I've seen the headline today saying, I'm not thick. So what he was saying is, I was in this situation 2 or 3 years ago. They went there and got a man sent off, Xhaka, and they got beat 5-0.
Exactly.
So he said, we basically...
Well, try and keep
They're
11
trying to
players
find
on
a
the
way.
pitch.
Well, it is a tactic though, when you've been in them games and you've just got to shuffle left, shuffle right. It's such a shift, do you not think? It's so difficult to do. But I know what you mean, playing 4 or 5 passes, but then you're playing 4 or 5 passes to then play someone who's going to run in behind. I just
but
thought
when you get
to
the 4 or
not
5
have
passes,
that.
then you hope 1 or 2 of your midfielders can get in a position to make them runs, obviously.
But I thought they would have had like 1. I did think they would have had 1, just because you're passing to go
He obviously,
nowhere.
in his mind, he's obviously said, you know what? I don't want to give them the opportunity for us trying to break. So
I didn't
what
think
they
City
score
were gonna
again,
score.
again and again.
You didn't?
He didn't
I
want to
didn't-
do
I
that.
didn't
He
think
wanted to. He wanted the draw.
From a Man
don't
City's
think it's a
point
bad
of view,
thing.
the thing that surprised me, you made a really good point on commentary about changing the central player. You were saying about putting Foden
Diaz.
there,
How
and it
many
was a
times has Diaz
really
having a
good point. But I thought the wingers, do you not think they could have stayed a bit wider?
Well, that's
Because
what they normally do when
everyone
you go
was
out the 10
in
minutes. You have to
the
stretch
box,
the pitch.
whereas if you're wider, you're going to then obviously create the spaces. I was really surprised at how narrow the wingers came.
Yeah, but the thing is that Arsenal, because they put the 5 in, they made sure that it couldn't go wide, so as then they could pull people out of those holes that City want to.
Well, can I ask you, you're defenders, but when you're defending like that and the balls go, I know you're saying you put a shift in, but I think it can be easy, can't it?
What I always
Not
Arsenal
mentally.
defenders, they're big and strong. Yeah, mentally, but that's the level they're playing at. You're up against Man City, and we're on about they're playing. They keep going, literally running.
I think you're right.
We're on
We
the edge.
did it against Argentina for 60 minutes in a
It
World
can be
Cup.
done,
Bex
can't
got
it?
sent off. I found it quite comfortable just to sit there and basically defend and not. To go and that's what I'm saying to you. When you've got this sort of rearguard action where you think, right, we're just playing for a draw or playing not to concede, which is what Arsenal were doing, obviously. I do think there is an element of thinking that we've got to go and win the game still. You know, that mentality with 10 men, think we've got to go and win the game. And I think, what are the best rearguard action sort of victories that we've ever seen? I mean, obviously, the 1985 Cup final, Everton were the best team in the land around that time, and Kevin Moran got sent off and United went and scored. You think about that 10 men, you know what I mean?
Norman Whiteside.
You mean? So Norman Whiteside scores that goal, and you think about that sort of moment. Where was that? Look, Arsenal, I think, are getting so close to City, and they could win the league this year, and City could end up with points deductions and other things that might come their way. They've obviously lost Rodri, and we'll discuss that in a minute. But when were you in a team that played where you were down to 10 men, where you went and won the game? Where
We played 2 Merseyside derbies where we went down to 10 men and it was still 0-0, and we won both games.
Yeah.
We played
Stevie got
Newcastle.
sent off in one.
Tony Adams got sent off as well, the captain.
Against who?
Newcastle up there.
You won?
Yeah, we beat them 2-1. Because...
With 10 men?
Yeah.
Was that when you won the league, right? Here
Did
around that time?
Liverpool
No,
last
that was the
season?
season before, I think.
Liverpool last season at Newcastle. Liverpool went 1-0 down and won at Newcastle.
Every team you played in had 10 men when you were playing.
Yeah.
No, but like, what are the
Nunes
most,
got 2 later.
What are the most famous ones where you can think, oh my God, that's like a shot? I mean, I think the Chelsea one in Barcelona.
That was unbelievable.
That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Is that with Torres' break?
Yeah.
And then Ramirez scored that beautiful chip. Is that the same goal? Game. That was the game, yeah.
Does it always need to be when you're down to 10 men? I've gone into games, World Cup, England v Germany 2007, and we were way off Germany. We knew like they were full time, whatever, and we literally just banked up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And literally with 11, like, because we were just like, and we got a 0-0. I remember they had these superstars, Berger Prince, like all these amazing players, and we just banked up. It was one of my first games for England, and I remember
I
absolutely
can't understand what the
myself.
problem is, though,
So just
you not-
shuffle.
with us going to 10 men and you saying just because we haven't...
He says 10 men
moved on from that.
No, us going to 10 men at City and not trying to consolidate what we've got.
No,
I
I'm
can't
not
see the
saying
big
that,
deal with it. I
Greg.
think
I'm
that's a
not
good
saying
thing.
that.
I just thought of one. We played England under 21s, played Italy away, had a man sent off, Ben Thatcher, within 10 minutes.
It's a shock.
Yeah. 1-0, Kieran Dyer
Kieran
scored.
Dyer, that was the Italian... That was
right, yeah.
Rome.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
That was when you had, that was your, that was the night before
that was the night before.
were you at the post?
Right, let's move on. Let's move on. It's we'll find out in 3, 4, 5 months whether it's going to be seen as a good result or a bad result. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is in association with LinkedIn. When I'm launching my businesses in the UK and the USA, finding the right people is crucial. I need a team that understands the vision and can hit the ground running. That's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. You know, it's not just a jobs board. LinkedIn is where you find professionals you won't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively looking but might be open to the perfect role. In fact, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. And here's the kicker. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. My team found talented people who are perfect for the job quicker than I ever imagined possible. For small and medium businesses, I know time and resources are tight. LinkedIn makes it easier, even down to helping you write the job description so you can hire professionals like a professional. So if, like me, you're looking to build a great team, post your job for free at linkedin.com/offer. That's linkedin.com/offer to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Rodri looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. I think we all know how big that's going to be. If you were Arsenal and you could pluck one player out of City's team and put them in the stand for a year, who would it be? Would it be Rodri?
Yes,
probably. Yeah.
I think the way City played, that player is the most important on the pitch.
I think Haaland.
Really do.
Would you do Haaland? I don't know.
I mean, they've got no backup for Haaland, have they?
Yeah, but I still think they create so much, especially you know they could still they'll still be able
still
to
score goals.
I think Rodri. There was a time where they've even done it without De Bruyne. They've taken all of their players out, some of their top players, and they've still got on with what they're doing. But like, you take him out,
and
when you look at
how important Rodri is for set pieces. He's a strong boy, big.
You look at his goals, how many games they win when he's playing.
The only thing is, last year, remember, Haaland was missed for a few months. De Bruyne was missing. And City still got the job done.
We'll see this season. If he's out,
a huge loss.
That's a massive blow for them. Yeah, have to try.
I think it's more of a blow, I would say, for the Champions League and the Premier League. I think those sort of quarter-finals, semi-finals, I think that role of that sitting with, the home and away thing, when you go away from home and that controlling the game.
Well, his stats for games is just...
I mean, they never lose, do they? When he's playing, basically.
No.
Very rarely.
Not many people can do that role, though, the single kind of pivot. And I think, you know what, they mark him out the game. He knows how to take himself away to bring other people in. I think he's just such a clever player. And I do think City will miss him.
Who are the best players in there, or you played that role? I mean, who do you look at? Is he far and above everybody else?
I think so, yeah. I think so. Well, no one else is springing to mind, but I'm sure. That's sitting midfielder.
I thought Fernandinho was pretty good at City as well when he's playing.
Yeah, he was, of course. Yeah, of course.
But we're talking about now. We're talking about now.
But again, it's
Busquets.
Of course, yeah. But
we're going to the mountaintop here. We're going to the mountaintop, Busquets. You know what I mean? No,
but it's a bit. When you talk about a defensive player, that's obviously there's no point in labeling him like that because he's got a goal in him. Forward, and as I said, his defensive work set pieces. I think he'd be big.
That kind of has that
physical side.
That affects you in the dressing room. When you know a player like him's not playing, you do feel like, wow. I think this is the first time that can hurt Man City.
I would take Rodri out rather than Haaland. It's a close one, but I'd take Rodri.
I'd take Rodri as well.
What does he do? We'll come on to a different question on that in a minute, but what does he do? I was thinking with Pep, you think about a guy who's put Mascherano at centre-back in the past, he always comes up with a solution. It's not given that he's just going to put Gundogan or Kovacic there. Does he think about John Stones? Does he think about doing something different and playing a different player in there?
Well, I was thinking probably, if it's anyone, it could be John Stones, but it's still not the same dynamic.
Yeah.
None of them's got the same dynamic. You could put someone in that particular role and it won't be as effective as what he does. He's just got a body in there. He's the one, isn't he?
I don't think John Stones has never really played there. He's played there as he's
drifted in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he might go back to that because he hasn't done that for a while. Because if you actually notice, John Stones isn't actually in the Man City team at the moment. He hasn't been for a little bit of time.
He will be now.
And what I'm saying is, Akanji and Diaz look like the two centre backs. Then Akanji might go to one of the full-back positions and then John Stones goes central and it's that thing of stepping in into midfield. So he's in there alongside a Kovacic or a Gundogan.
Is Akanji, could Akanji...
He's done it a few times.
He's not put John Stones where Akanji is?
He's clumsier than John Stones in there, isn't he? On the ball.
That technical ability has to be through the roof to play that position. It has to be your most technical player. And that's why sometimes when the centre-half step in, I'm like... I do like it because it adds a number, but they almost get more time on the ball because they're outnumbered. But if you're in there with a man on you, then the technical
Probably
ability...
Bernardo there then, won't
There you go. Well,
that's what I'm saying. So like Phil Foden, but he obviously hasn't got the body. He hasn't got the body.
Bernardo would do it before Phil Foden.
You think so?
If he wants
Listen, he'll just play Kovacic.
I don't think he will.
Kovacic.
I don't think you'll just see Kovacic just there.
First game of the season away at Chelsea, Rodri wasn't playing. Kovacic.
I know. I do think
he's a good player.
I do think he'll do that, but I do think he'll end up sort of doing something quite different with it. I mean, he's a good player. Of course, he's a good player. Do we think then?
I would just do that Jamie face when Gary says something.
I was Arsenal. I was Arsenal before the start of the season, thinking they would get it this year.
What do you think now?
No, I'm still Arsenal. I'm not changing my mind. But does that anybody who was saying City now say Arsenal because Rodri's out?
I think it's 50. I would say 50-50 now.
Arsenal now.
You can't keep changing your mind if there's an injury.
No,
Arsenal get an injury next week.
No, but does that alter your thinking?
A little bit, yeah. But I'm still going to stick with. Shut up, you. I'm still sticking with City.
Yeah.
Listen, De Bruyne didn't play the year. There's players to come back in, run about Stones, all the options he's got off the bench. Is a huge loss. Huge loss.
It's the one you don't want. That's the injury you don't want.
If you're
it's
Arsenal,
like us. We don't want Erdegaard out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want Rodri out, man.
But just on that then, because I'm going to ask you which player would you take out of certain teams through history. I'm going to start then with that. If you were City, you've just said you wouldn't want Erdegaard out, but he wouldn't be the first player I would take out of Arsenal's team if I was saying to City,
Saliba.
You could put someone in the stand. I'd pick Rice or Saliba personally out of the two, out of the team. I don't know which one, Rice or Saliba, but I'd take one of them two out before I took Erdegaard. I love Erdegaard, by the way, but he was my player of the year last year.
I love Raheem Sterling. I work with Raheem at Roy Hodgson.
I follow Erdegaard on Instagram. Who would City take out the Arsenal team?
Saliba,
I think.
I don't think they got much backup at centre-back, really.
Jill?
I'd probably say Rice, I think. I just think he's added that consistency in there.
No, but I just think in terms of if Rice went out, they've got Partey, they've got Jorginho.
Yeah.
At centre-back, who would you bring in there if one of them was
But
out?
the thing is, it's either Calafiori now,
Calafiori,
Kivior.
Yeah,
it's not
left footers, aren't
they? Yeah.
I think Saliba definitely.
So I think it would be. You can't tell me that if Saliba.
The goalkeeper. He gets a lot of cramp, doesn't he? I hope he's going to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to give you 4 teams in history, and you've got to take a player out that you think would damage them most.
Oh God.
I'm going to start with
Man United.
I'm going to start with the.
United 1919.
1999. No, we're not discussing United today.
Wow, honestly, you're joking.
Really?
You're joking.
Oh, I really wanted to talk about them. Stepping the full back in.
The Arsenal Invincibles in 2004. Who would you take out if you were the opposition team?
Thierry Henry.
Without a doubt, innit?
Was Vieira?
Vieira.
I would have said Vieira. I always go for the midfielders because that's
I
the
would
most
take Vieira
important.
I don't.
Roy did take Vieira out
Right.
a few times.
He took me out. That's the game.
I'd take Vieira out.
Yeah.
I would always take the sort of leader out, the sort of the focal point, the one that holds them together.
The best player was Thierry Henry.
Oh, absolutely. So it's Haaland at City.
Yeah.
But you take Rodri out.
Do you know what people...
Well, it's who's going to replace him. So who would have replaced Henry and who would have replaced Vieira? So Edu, it would have been Edu and Gilberto Silva in centre midfield, which is still not bad. You can't replace Thierry Henry.
So if you're taking them out for a considerable term.
The season.
Right,
so then
you put him in the stand.
If you take Patrick out, you might be able to fill it in with an Edu. But you
Two
take
Brazilian
Thierry
centre midfield players.
You take Thierry out. That not only like makes you feel, oh my gosh, it makes other teams can't wait to play you.
Henry.
That mental bit is so important, like, you know, and I think players only know this, managers don't. You know them players who you just hated coming up against, and I think it is that like mental like advantage. So if you were playing against Arsenal and you seen Vieira wasn't playing, you would get a boost.
You would be happy because
you would get a boost, but do you know what I mean? Was the players? No, but was the players that you hated coming up against?
Yeah, why do you think I just mentioned Thierry?
But there you go.
Right, we're moving on. Jose's Chelsea.
John Terry.
Terry, Lampard, Drogba.
We got Drogba.
Oh, Drogba was a hand.
Petr Cech. I would take Terry out.
I'd go Terry.
Oh, lads.
Oh.
Why Drogba, Roy?
Would they be able to replace
Drogba?
Would they be?
You played against him.
That was amazing.
You know something?
He's got big goals, big games, big presence, big personality.
He was one of the best big game players, wasn't he? His record in cup finals.
Unbelievable. I don't think.
Obviously, you can find another centre half who's nearly as good.
Yeah, and then he might do the
Do you know
job
what I mean?
because of what's in
I know
front.
he's a big player. And listen,
You're right, Roy. Drogba.
These guys are match winners, Gary.
You've got the,
There's not many.
chairman's vote, Jill.
I know.
There's not many match
We've
winners.
said Terry, they've said Drogba.
You're right.
Yeah, Drogba. I'm going Drogba.
Jill, you've always
I
been doing them
am. Sorry, but this is like Super 6 teams, isn't it? I've got to stick with my team.
Who you
Right.
going with?
Drogba.
Drogba. Nice one, Jill.
We are going with United 2007-8, which was the team that won the Champions
Isn't it
League.
obvious? I'm going to say Ronaldo, aren't they?
Rooney.
99 would be a better question.
99 would have been a better question.
Everyone's going to say Ronaldo, aren't they?
Rooney?
Rooney, Ronaldo.
Oh, friend of the show, Rain, isn't he?
Yeah, Rooney.
They're all friends of the show. Stick to United with
I
this.
don't think Ronaldo is. He's pied two of us off.
Out of the 99
Why did you do the 99
Do
team,
the
Gal?
99.
Oh, we'll do 99 team then, go on.
To be fair, though, you and Scholes were missing in that final, and they did.
Still won, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
but
came
you're talking
in
about for
them
a season, aren't we?
In the 99 team, I would take out Roy or Pete. If I was the other team, by the way, I would take out Roy or Peter Schmeichel.
Okay.
I'm going to actually throw, to be fair, someone in there, actually. Yeah.
Yep. I knew this.
Yep, damn.
That would have been a big loss to us, that.
Yeah, but like when you did lose Roy Keane for that season, what was 97, 98 when we
Year
won the
before.
league? Was that Roy weren't
Arsenal won the
playing?
double.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to have to go with my guy. I'm not It's my guy.
But again,
Yeah,
a
come on,
player, you'd be
nice.
buzzing if he wasn't playing, wouldn't you? Like going into a game. You
And
would.
like I said, Joe, it's one of those when he's not playing, you know he's not playing. It's
Yeah.
like what they used to say to us when Tony Adams weren't playing. They say, "These a lot of shit without Adams. Just have a go at him."
Yeah.
That's what they used to say.
What about
Billy
the
Jones
Arsenal?
said-
What about the Arsenal team Wright he played in the '94 team? Who was I'd take? Who would you take?
Lee
out?
Dixon. He was consistent. He was
It's always going to
consistent.
be Tony Adams, man.
Yeah,
really?
Without a doubt, Tony. Without Tony, we really did need our dummies. And someone help us. Help us.
Right, the Liverpool team that won the league with Jurgen Klopp, we've got Van Dijk, Salah, Mane, Henderson, Alisson.
Mane.
I would say Van Dijk.
Would you say Van?
Jesus, he loves a centre half.
I
too.
know.
I just think he was so far ahead of everyone.
I'm going Mane.
Adams,
I'm going to
Yap.
go Mane.
I think I'd go the goalkeeper or Van Dijk.
It's mad how you are all going defenders, seeing how important they are. But I'm going midfielders and you're going
Just a
forward.
goalkeeper's massive. The goalkeeper's huge. They make so many big saves for you. I think, yeah.
You know, the thing is, when you look at Liverpool, when they made those signings, they needed a goalie and they needed a centre half, and they brought them two in and they just went. So I'm going to change from Mane.
So you're going to go?
Yeah, I can't keep going.
Well, Mane was my favourite player.
So you're going to go for?
I'm probably going to go with Van Dijk, my guy.
See, Henderson had a great year that year. He did.
But would
in
they-
terms
would they
of
You
never
from
do
the
it
same
about
village as him.
Exactly.
You are,
Same
it's-
village. No villages in Sunderland.
No.
Change the show to stick to your mates.
No, but he did so much covering and groundwork. I thought he was brilliant that season.
Okay,
I
we'll
did.
give Jordan gets a mention.
I'm happy to go with Van Dijk as
Van
well.
Dijk, man. Without a doubt, Van
Is that
Dijk.
it?
Yeah, but
Roy,
you're forgetting how hard it is to win football matches.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you
you just
are,
mentioned
Gary.
defenders for every debate here.
Roy, the 94 double winning team of United, I would take Cantona. I would say Cantona because of the impact he had in that 2 seasons of just getting United
because
over
he
the
was
line.
winning games.
Yeah, but that
all these other players we mentioned, Henry, they were winning games.
yeah.
Thank you.
They were going to win games. But part of football, the easy part, I still think, is stopping people from playing.
Well said, right.
It's going to win games.
It's harder with 10 men, though.
It's impossible with 10 men.
Don't go back.
Who is it? Van Dijk or Alisson or Mane or Salah, Henderson, like with Jill? We've gone Van Dijk.
Van Dijk.
Why
How
not?
many goals did Mane get that year? Did anyone get
No,
like...
I mean, Salah, I think, would have
They
been
were
20 odd.
close, yeah.
So it wasn't like...
No, it wasn't like off the scale. Salah was off the scale the season before.
Right. I'll go with the goal.
Mane, what a
He's
player.
going with a goal.
Goalkeeper. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet.
Well, what's this?
This
Yeah,
is a
Raytons.
band. This is a band called the Raytons from Sheffield, or from Rotherham actually.
So you know them well, yeah?
I went to do a little promo ad for them, and they've got some merchandise. And I said I'd wear it for them.
Well, it's not, you know what?
How much did you get out the ad?
Yeah, I like the retro vibe of that shirt. I like the net.
It is nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
What, so it's not a football shirt?
No, it is, but it's got a band on it.
Is this a new
looks
Salford
like,
sponsor?
It looks like Newcastle's away shirt.
It's actually quite nice.
You know what? It's really not well
Going
done.
on to Newcastle,
Come on in.
Oh,
big story this morning. Eddie Howe and Paul Mitchell, the new sporting director. There are strong rumours of friction.
Well,
up in the northeast, and that
in and around when England need a manager.
and that Eddie Howe is not too happy with the, I suppose, introduction of the new sporting director and how he's gone about his business. Roy, you dealt with sporting directors when you were a manager. Did you ever feel that you didn't have a connection with someone?
I don't think it was a sporting director.
But yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah, it can be.
Upstairs.
Yeah, it's not easy. Is that part of management, though? You've got to manage upwards. You've got to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, but what
I don't think was he involved in the guy coming in? Like Eddie Howe? Eddie Howe had no say.
Eddie was always there.
Yeah, I know that, but he came in. Did he have a say in who was coming in?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Do you think Eddie maybe didn't know, Roy, that someone like that's going to come so soon after he's the manager getting ready to make his moves, and then all of a sudden, bam, this guy's coming and he's changed things already in respect of the transfers?
Yeah.
I think that's what's happened with Eddie.
Well, obviously, he's frustrated what happened in the summer, of course.
Yeah. I think the Newcastle owners have got an interesting little job here because, unless they can get them to make up, which I think is hard if they've had a big fallout. Because once the distrust is there, it's difficult to get back. And you think about it, they brought in a new sporting director, Paul Mitchell, who they've obviously put faith in. He's a significant position in charge of the sporting department. And then you've got a manager who's got power and control. He's doing a good job. And you just know them sort of trains are sort of moving towards each other. And it's like...
I think if you're a manager and you feel the people coming in above you or which are there to help you, then it's great. But if you think he's been a hindrance, then there will be trouble. What's helped them at the start of the season, they've had obviously some good results. I know not the weekend. And that can kind of cover the cracks. But if there's a couple of other more bad results or they're going to a bad run and they don't get players in January, then you think that relationship is only going to get worse.
Yeah. They're not playing great though, are they? I think they're picking up points.
Yeah, but then you look at it, it's so early in his appointment that him and the manager don't get on. That's not.
Yeah, but I think the director of football is for the long-term future of a club. That's sort of his role. He oversees that, and the manager's about the here and now. Yeah. But I understand when a manager comes in and director of football's already there, the structure's there, and you're almost answering to them in some ways that they've obviously given you the job. But when you're Eddie Howe and you've been there for 2 years and you came in when that club was bottom of the league, you saved them.
Yep.
You then was involved in transfers and bringing players in that propelled that club to a Champions League position, which was pretty unbelievable. And then a sporting director's coming in. Now, if he's coming in throwing his weight about, and he's only been there 2 minutes, and you've been when the club's been here, and now you've got it to a stable position, and he's almost dictating to you.
But you say throwing his weight around, what you mean, making decisions, or?
Yeah, no,
well, he must be right. That's why
there's something going on there.
Dan Ashworth, who was making the decisions previously?
Well, if you speak to sort of Eddie Howe, when he spoke about Dan Ashworth going, there was obviously a bit upset with Dan Ashworth the way he went, but there was a lot of talk that, it was a joint thing in terms of bringing players in, bringing a certain type of player in to get them out of the relegation zone. But all the big signings that they've made in terms of Gamares, Anthony Gordon, Isaac, Botman at the back, they've been brilliant signings. So whatever they were doing, business-wise, it was working. Whether it was a director of football, whether Dan Ashworth was massively involved, we don't know. But I just think you've got to be very careful whether you're a manager coming into somewhere that's doing really well or a director of football coming in. You're almost the last one to come in. You've got to almost just tread lightly. Yeah. And from what I'm... you hear about the rumours, the problem, you hear little things within the game, we speak to people that it sounds to me like the sporting directors come in as if like...
But they say about management,
it's a bit like, hang on, slow down.
They say about management, the hardest part of management is upwards.
Yeah.
So that's up to you. This is another side to him. He's vastly experienced and he's done a brilliant job. No, he's got to get over the next few months.
And they didn't get... Well, the deal they wanted to get done, which is the sporting director's job, they didn't get done, which is the lad from Crystal Palace.
Mark Gahey. Yeah.
Is there a clear way out for both parties here, which obviously Newcastle won't want to go to Eddie and say, if they're going to back, say, Paul Mitchell, if there is a friction, they won't want to go to him and say, you're gone, because that would be just hasty and wrong, because he's obviously doing a good job. And if you're Eddie, you're looking at the England job thinking this is only going to...
Who's doing a good job?
Eddie's doing a good job.
Oh, I thought you said Paul Mitchell.
No, I said Eddie's doing a good job. So if you're Newcastle, you're the owner, you're going to be looking at it thinking, I don't really want to change my manager now because he's doing a good job and the players like him, the fans like him. But if you're also Eddie, you're looking at it and thinking, that England job's there. It's only be there for...
You know something?
It's not going to be there again, probably for a few years.
I feel for Carragher in this instance because this is coincidentally happening in and around his internship kind of vibe. So, somebody who's got those games to try and focus on maybe getting it full time, but then the FA know that Eddie are there it kind of like skews it up, messes it up for him a bit for me.
Do you think he's
this
the
the norm? Sorry,
favourite,
go on.
Eddie? No, I was just going to say, do you think Eddie Howe is the favourite outside of
without
Lee?
a doubt, yeah. And
But is this the normal of football clubs now? Is there always something going on? Even with Klopp, even the big managers' issues we had at Den Haag the last. There's always politics going on in the club, and that's how you find out maybe how good Eddie Howe is over the next few months going to manage that side of it. We're on about not getting players in, but when Palace are asking for 70 or odd million, sometimes you go, you have to back away from a deal as well. So it's not.
I know, but ordinarily, when a player doesn't come to a club, it is clumsy from the people managing the transfer, I would think.
Especially when it went like Gay this much.
So basically, you don't chase a player unless you've been told you think you can get him from someone. You don't, and you don't openly chase them like. I mean, United, to be fair, we're getting played for years on this with Sancho, with De Jong, with other players, going back to Bale and Fabregas all those years ago, and they look stupid every single year. At least this summer, they've looked like a polished outfit where you just think they've got. If they were getting turned down, they were getting turned down quietly. You know. I think Liverpool probably will be a little bit embarrassed about the boy that they didn't get from.
But deals can fall through for lots of reasons.
I think Gay is an English player. He's at Crystal Palace. Obviously, Steve Parish is trying to sort of bump the price up a little bit or something. But you still look a bit clumsy, don't you, when you sort of like don't get. I think Eddie will be fuming.
But I think there's nothing wrong with you're being clumsy. I'd use a different word for where the price is going crazy. You go, we're backing away from that.
Yeah.
And look at the table. I know it's early in the season where Newcastle have started. You go, listen. Things are okay. Yeah, there's a bit of, but there'll always be friction with somebody somewhere.
I always think
the board members, the director of football.
It always feels Newcastle's one of those clubs that's always ready to sort of like, it always feels like even in the a long time ago they're that emotional, aren't they? The football club is everything. I can see even in the press conferences. Every question to Eddie Howe's about Paul Mitchell.
But he's good though. Eddie Howe doesn't get much away, does he? Like,
good.
if the one manager you want in this position who can handle maybe the England job, where speculation, you're falling out with he's quite cool, isn't he?
He's not very emotional, is he?
And his team are getting results. As long as your team are getting results, you're going, that is still the most important thing in any football club.
It's a bit of a difficult question to answer this because you're not obviously in the situation of Eddie Howe and we're not up in Newcastle. If you're Eddie Howe now, do you try and sort of think, this is probably not going to end well if the sporting director me aren't getting on. This is probably going to come to a pretty difficult end in the next. Do I go and look after myself and basically take an international job where he can be the England manager and say, look, I've done my job here. I've done a great job here, by the way, at Newcastle. I'll leave that. I've done that. I've managed it. I've gone to the Champions League. I've stabilised the club, got them out of a relegation battle, and I'll go and take the England and look after yourself. Or do you say, no, I've got a top club here and I'm going to hang on and try and basically sort of, if you like...
Depends how bad his frickin' is with this.
Exactly
we don't know exactly how bad it is, the relationship. Are they on speaking terms? Are they just ignoring each other? Is it just pure business when they speak to each other?
Eddie Howe can't lose in the situation.
The fans, if he left Newcastle tomorrow, I think the fans would say...
It's a massive decision, though.
How can he lose?
Go on.
How can he lose? If he can keep his job?
I think he can lose if, say, for instance, this drags on a little bit to January, February, results go a little bit bad, it ends for him, but the England job's been given to someone else and he's lost both. I think he could lose a little bit.
Yeah, but that's because but we're talking about making a decision soon.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm saying. If Eddie makes a decision soon, and he can't resolve whatever's happening with Mitchell, then he'll probably say, well, okay, you know what, I'm going to step away. Maybe it's for another manager. Then the job's there. Wanted it.
What you've said could happen, and I think that's why if I'm Eddie Howe or I'm his agent or his people, you'd be making noises or I'd be in touch with if that job was available for me, I would take it. Not just because it's the England
James, and say, listen.
Yeah, because I do think what Gary's saying, that can't continue. It seems to me sooner or later one of them would have to walk away if this relationship is broken at such an early stage. And I just feel that it's not just the England job, it's the players you've got are pretty special. So I think Eddie Howe will be the England manager one day. He's a young manager. He will manage England at some stage. And I just think, will England have a group of players like this right now forever? The next generation might not be Bellingham or Foden.
Are they a golden generation? Is it?
Well, we've been there before.
I was going to say...
that was France.
I was going to say, I think it's a big decision to go from being obviously a Premier League manager to an international manager, that day-to-day on the grass and stuff like that. It's completely different. So I wonder if that'll kind of play into it. Do you think he might be someone who wants to be around the environment every single day?
Yeah, but
I was just wondering, it's a big decision instead of going from club to club, going club to international.
I look at it, I agree with Carragher. If I was Eddie, I would go and look after myself. Of course. You've had a great Premier League career, you've done a brilliant job, you've done fantastic at Newcastle, you've almost closed that chapter of their sort of development. England are in a great position at the moment with players. You're going to be working with amazing players every time you work with them. I think the next step up in Eddie's career, I think, would be England, because it's difficult to get a Chelsea job or a United job or a Liverpool job, and he'll know that. You might get Tottenham at some point in the future, but, you know, my point is for Eddie, it's difficult to get Man. I think to go and win with England, he'd have a chance then of be getting one of those top jobs. So I think it's his next sort of step up, and I think he would take that job.
What I'm saying. It's not just coincidence that everything's happening in and around this time. He's got to be making his decisions soon.
I think he's got to be proactive and not wait for other people to determine your outcome. I think you're basically in that position to say, you know, ultimately I can smell this a little bit.
But would it part of his mindset as well, trying to win something at Newcastle?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, imagine if you won a cup up there?
I'd love Newcastle to win a trophy. I'd love Tottenham to win a trophy. I mean, Everton as well, I think every single year, these clubs that haven't won things, you just think, oh my God.
You probably looked them up and down.
Do you want some?
What is Arsenal's record, by the way? You've won one FA Cup in how long? 10 years, is it? Or something?
Yeah, something like we've won something, yeah. What we've won something.
When was the last... What's Arsenal's trophy record in the last 10 years?
FA Cup. We're doing the FA Cup.
An FA Cup with Mikel, obviously. And then...
No, but Wenger was there 10 years ago. He won a few FA Cups, Wenger, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, but when was the trophy before the FA Cup?
Why have we gone on to this? Why have we gone on to this?
You're going to make Wright.
We're having a dig on the way into Super 6.
You're going to make Wright so mad that he'll be sent
I
off.
don't get mad anymore, Jill.
He'll be left with 3 men and a lady.
1-1 with Costas.
Right.
That's what...
Costas.
Right, we're moving on. Super 6 it is. The October rollover is here with Super 6, where you could win up to £1 million by the end of October for correctly predicting 6 score lines. Get your entries in now for a chance to win, and it's free.
Roy come to the coffee shop the other day, right? So I go in and I'm like, I'll just have a flat white, my coffee shop. Him, right? 3 Earl Grey teas you had, a bacon sandwich, a cake, a bottle of water and a water to take away. We're nearly bankrupt.
£100 tip. Yeah, but
it wasn't £100. Roy come in.
10 quid to drink, Jimmy.
Roy come in, the staff are like, here's your tea, do you want a bacon sandwich, do you want a cake? I waited half an hour for my flat white. Honestly.
Did I come and meet you, though?
How did we do?
Yeah, you did.
Roy, how did we do last week? What was it again?
Here we go.
Well, welcome to Super 6.
Bournemouth.
Here is Des Lynam.
1-1 Bournemouth.
Cheers, Gary.
Who won last week?
We'll find out now.
One right result. All you need to get is one right result.
When we can't catch him.
I got 2 last night.
Did you?
So I do it for
Another podcast.
Yeah.
Right, come on,
Last week, Gary and Jamie, you got 11.
Whoa! Yes, Ben.
So you were in top 16%. So you're on a total of 20.
Of course we were.
And Roy and Ian, you got 4.
We're so unlucky, though.
You argue too much.
You're so indecisive.
No, we Bournemouth 1-1. It misses a penalty.
Exactly. So.
Oh, you're so lucky.
You're in the top 88%.
Oh my God, it's embarrassing. Your excuse.
The top 88%.
Can I do my own team?
Last week you got a correct score, which was the Wolves Newcastle, which was predicted by Tom.
Yeah, you copied him.
Oh my God.
That was it. You changed it.
The £1 million man. We said, Tom, what do you think? He got it right.
What, did he get it right?
He got it exactly right.
On the score, we were.
Jesus, he's on fire.
Unlucky, right? We were unlucky.
We were, and that's.
You need to listen to each other more.
No, we do listen to each other.
We just argue.
We don't. No, we don't.
Newcastle away.
We don't, Jill.
Honestly.
We'll start with Man United Tottenham. That's a big game.
Why? What did he say? What did he say, Ben?
Man United Tottenham.
Are we away? Are we away or losers away?
It's a big game.
You guys.
Remember home and away on it.
I think this means you're at home.
That's what That's what they need to do.
That's what we need.
Because they need to catch up. They need to go
we need
away.
To have an away question.
They need to
an
double
away
up.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make it more complicated. That'd be great.
Oh, sorry.
I think United are winning that game. Yeah, I think United are winning that game.
Postcog.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think United are winning that game.
You've probably
feel
got
like-
the same one at all.
Yeah, I think they struggled to score goals, United, but I just feel Sundays. Yeah, I think it'll be a good atmosphere. Tottenham's always a good game, I think, at Old Trafford. I'll go
Get on with it,
2-1 United. 2-1 United.
Analysing. Who's the ref? Jeez.
Nice to give the viewers some insight,
That
isn't
side
it?
is unbelievable.
There could be. I fancy Tottenham.
Man United did play well against Palace.
They did, to be
I
honest.
actually thought they
Play
did.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
hanging on at the end.
Yeah, but first half there should have been 2 or 3 up.
When you start saying Man U played well away at Palace and they drew 0-0, it's like, oh,
I know. But they did
Man United.
They had chances.
This is Manchester
I
United.
think Tottenham. I think United will beat them though.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Thanks for that, writer.
But you know, it's got Gary Roy on there. Yeah, let's go 2-1 or something.
Oh, that's the same score.
Oh, I just saw it. I didn't even see that. It just 2. I was looking at it. I'd say.
3-1.
They're not going to score 3, do you think?
The lack of confidence over there is unbelievable.
Honestly.
It's incredible.
Go 2-1, will we? I know
Yeah,
it's a bit.
Oh.
I know, but
You
yeah,
can't
we
2-1
think
Man United,
You
yeah.
can't catch
We need to
us.
do
2-1,
something
but I think it will be
different.
3-1.
we know what we're doing,
We
girl.
need to do
Get
something
James.
different.
We're delighted with that.
Jamie, what do you say? You can't catch it.
Arsenal, Leicester.
Should we change the
Arsenal,
3-1 and rise them? You know what I mean?
We're beating Leicester.
Should we
Rise them.
Should we raise them and go 3-1? I think we'll get a third goal later on.
Go on, let's go
3-1.
for
We're
it.
not scoring against
Look
them.
at how adventurous you are. Let's go.
We risk takers.
It's never been done before. Right.
Take it easy
Yeah,
after
I
2.
think
Arsenal.
Oh yeah, we're talking Champions League. We're talking Champions
back.
League game. Taking it easy.
2-0 Arsenal, Leicester.
2-0.
2 Arsenal.
That's because they've got a lot of tough games away.
Yeah, well, it was nice to have an input.
No, what do you think, Jill?
2-0.
What do we think?
I think 3-0.
Yeah, we'll go 3-0.
It's them, innit?
You're just doing one above or below us.
Chelsea will get a lot of goals.
Yeah, but we got
Chelsea, Brighton.
Chelsea.
Chelsea on fire. Nicholas Jackson.
Brighton
come
scored.
good.
Chelsea will get a
Brighton
lot
scored,
of
but I think
goals.
Chelsea
No,
scored
Chelsea
more.
will get a lot of
Yeah,
goals.
2-1.
2-1 Chelsea.
4, I reckon they'll score 4.
No, Jill.
Cole Palmer, Jackson.
No, they're not bad. They're not bad.
They had that guy scored a hat-trick.
Oh, come
didn't he,
on.
Yesterday.
Jill's gone
And
on.
Kunku.
Yeah. But he won't start.
That was against Barrow.
It's Barrow.
Barrow.
I'm going to go...
You played now.
We should go...
I wasn't shit, you know.
This is
Jill,
Jill's
what are you doing,
Jill,
Jill?
come on. Inclusive.
Oh,
you see?
no, come on.
inclusive.
Oh, God. We're ticking boxes here. Stick to
We need
ticking
somebody.
boxes. We need someone. Yeah, they do, actually.
Jill, what you going to...
3 goals to Chelsea. How many do you think Brighton?
Have Brighton got a goal in them?
Yeah, I'll give him one.
3-1?
Good show, Jill.
3-1.
Great, great.
Thanks.
This is on you.
Thank you.
Oh, this will be
Go on, you used to go first in this one.
Brentford. I think Brentford are beating West Ham.
I don't know.
It's got like 0-0 written over it.
I've got 1-1 written all over it.
Before United Tottenham.
Yeah, something like that.
1-1.
0-0.
1-1.
Don't copy us. Oh, ye love it down there.
We're going 2-2.
2-2.
Oh, ye love it at Brentford because you sing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what they do. They're singing.
Great
singing
place to
down.
come.
Hey, we love you, Brentford. Wolves, Liverpool.
Oh, I'm doing that game. I'm going there Saturday.
Wolves, Saturday evening.
Yeah,
Do
Saturday.
you work every weekend?
Yeah.
You work too hard, Gary.
God. Every time I turn the telly on,
Jamie,
it's
you
you
know what
two
you should do?
I think you should
commentating.
do another podcast. America, New Zealand,
Australia, yeah.
That's what you should do. You should record the
Wherever the
commentary
next World
and
Cup
put it
is.
out as a podcast.
Whatever the next World
Do
Cup
you
is.
two get sick of each other, though?
We don't work together that much.
Do you not?
What are you here?
Here, America,
In Sky, we're
weekend.
very early together now.
Oh.
So how's it going in America? Have you cracked it?
Oasis.
Are you moving over there in New York?
I'm the Beatles, he's Oasis.
I know, you did it, James. Helping him
Listen, jokes aside, good luck to you. I hope it's a great journey.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Do you have to go there every week?
No.
You're going this weekend,
Who's first,
aren't you?
Ben? You know what you remind me? You're like one of the rest.
That's what he needs with his busy schedule.
I know.
Control this, Ben.
You can be married to him.
Sorry, what are you going to go?
No, but that's how she
I'm
is.
going to go 2-1 to Liverpool.
Look at your scores, bro.
I think it'll be 1-1 and Liverpool score a late winner.
I think
That's
Liverpool score more than 2.
Yeah, I think 3.
What is it, Ian?
Do you think they'll score more
Wolves
too?
have got a couple of goals.
Will they?
No, Wolves are as bad as
He comes to win my
But
score.
Wolves, Liverpool.
I think Liverpool
defensively,
win.
I'm just feeling.
3-1?
Yep.
3-1.
Yeah. Thanks.
Why'd you give me to Jill and I done all the work on that one?
Ipswich Villa.
I want my own
Them.
colour.
Villa, I'm going.
I'm going to Villa all day. Yeah.
You love Villa at the minute, don't you?
Villa.
You're
always
loving
very good.
Villa.
Loads of goals.
Good team, Villa.
Villa
Yeah.
Hermitage.
When's this game? Is this Saturday or Sunday? This is
Sunday.
2
Early.
p.m. Sunday.
Are you doing United Tottenham Sunday?
Is it us here?
Oh, yeah.
Villa.
Have you actually got a weekend off?
Villa.
I'm always off.
I think this could be a 3-2-y kind of game, couldn't it?
Do you reckon? Or 3-1?
It's got a
3-2 or 3-1.
We've done too many 3-1s. If we don't do 3-1, look,
I think if you get a
Ipswich might
correct
close
score
up
with like
though.
over
Over
4
2.
goals or so, like a 3-2 or something, that's like your away result. That's where you should get extra.
Maybe you're right. See, it's just wants to beat us
you
even
could
more.
nominate a result,
Double
couldn't you,
points,
where you'd be
yeah.
like, do you know what? I'm that
Yes.
confident.
Yeah,
Like when
we-
you
I'm gonna
pick a
nominate-
captain.
We should nominate a result what we think that's going to be the one, and then we get double points if it comes in.
Yeah.
You like what I'm thinking?
I like
where I'm
that.
going?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So what we doing with this?
What?
Villa.
What? Have they just changed the rules of the game?
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
We're just
yeah,
making
come on,
it
go.
more
Competitive.
We're just
Gary's mind won't be able to cope with
2-1?
change. He's like,
2-1
what's
Villa.
happening?
2-1
What's
Villa.
happening?
That'd be a tough game at Ipswich though, because they do
Right.
like a nice atmosphere. See,
Yeah.
Jamie's
I
going to
would
go
probably
more.
go
3-0.
Jamie's gone 3.
Yeah. 2-0.
To who?
No one's beaten Martinez.
Ipswich will sing though.
Are we going to nominate a result then? For mega
We're not,
points?
we're not changing the theme.
Super
Come on,
7.
Gary.
So after 3 weeks of doing this basically at the start of the season, because they're losing.
You went to Salford, didn't you? I seen him all over social media. They didn't
Was
put
I?
you on.
Right with the
Yeah,
Joneses,
yeah.
Right, yeah, my number 8.
And you're there every week, and you don't even get your picture taken.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want his.
We'll do it next week. We'll do
What's
a
everybody digging my man up for?
extra one.
Great, thank you for that. Great, Super 6.
Thanks for nothing there.
Cheers.
We've got some community questions. What would your mastermind subject be?
Oh, I'd be terrible at anything.
Liverpool and Everton in the 1980s.
Wow.
Oh.
Can you literally pick anything?
Yeah.
I
Jill
you
Cars.
know what? I think if I could
Yeah, I do
delve down,
like
I'd probably
cars.
go into
Yeah.
Marvel films, that kind of stuff, like superhero stuff.
Oh.
What's you looking at me?
No, because you said Marvel and I didn't know what you were talking
Marvel,
about.
yeah. I'd probably try. I could dig
I don't
deep
even
into
know what that is. That like a
superheroes,
like Superman things? Yeah.
No, Superman's DC.
Who's Marvel?
Marvel
Who were
is the
there?
Hulk and you know what I mean, and Iron Man and all them. Like they're kind of like Thor.
Also, all the films.
Yeah, Loki, the man them.
We should have excluded football, shouldn't we, to make this question more interesting, really?
Yeah, but no one was going to pick football because it was a mastermind
No,
subject.
Yeah, no,
wasn't
but
it?
you can.
You can have
Black
anything
Widow.
on Mastermind.
Yeah, so excluding football, so you have to think again. I think I would
Captain America.
I think I would do food of some kind. I'd say what did you have to
He's trying
break
to
it down?
break into the food industry.
So he's going to ask you questions on food.
He's going to have
What?
his own cooking channel next week.
Wait a minute, he's good. Cooking.
Cooking.
A cooking podcast. So
Questions
what would
be?
the questions be?
What would the question-
formulated?
I don't know what the questions would be. It just
So
says
Gary-
I was asked what my subject would be. I said food.
Yeah, so what's your knowledge on food? What would your answer be?
It is so true. Everyone says the
This is the
answer,
food.
and then Gary says something, and it's like, well, what would
So
the
would it
questions
be the ingredients that go into food?
It
or-
could be ingredients. It could be dishes. It could be like where
Would you have to-
things originated from, or
Could you explain a
so where did
dish?
sticky toffee pudding originate from?
Ah,
From
okay.
Cartmel.
Okay.
You only learned that the other day.
I remember.
Someone said sticky toffee button
So say-
because the place he was going in the lakes. And
that's
you don't
a
even
Gary.
know that. You only know that 3 days.
Oh my God!
Gary, how would you make a
I'm getting
tiramisu
beat
or
up for
something?
choosing food as a mastermind subject. For what reason, I don't know.
This is the man who had chippy tea every Friday. And now he's going to do... Behave yourself.
GPT. Go on then. Okay, he's got food. What are you going
Sorry,
with?
I chose food.
So-
I'm going to go cars. I like cars.
you like cars,
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
You should go to that Formula One.
On the grid.
On the grid, baby.
I was literally this
we saw
close
you,
to
don't
Lewis
worry.
Hamilton. He was about to get in the car. I was like, good luck.
You would have had to go like
He was
that,
like
though,
there.
You would have had to go, good luck.
What's your car do you drive, Jill?
What have I got now?
Yeah.
Mercedes.
That's all you need to know.
I've
is,
got a Mercedes. But I do love cars. Yeah.
So I can't have the football one, no?
No.
Why can't he have the football one?
don't
he's
know.
specially
We've
subject.
just excluded. We'd all choose.
Did you hear I
I'd
went-
choose United 99 or something.
James, you hear my
wouldn't I?
voice
You know
went
what I
up
mean?
like Cockney though, like a Scouser. It went up. Why can't he choose?
No, you
Music
can't.
from the 80s for me, I think.
Yes, my
I
guy.
love my 80s music.
There you go. You see.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's better than food.
Why don't you start attacking him now for choosing music from the 80s?
I
Who's
never
it?
attack Roy. I'll attack you.
Who's your favourite band from the
Choose me
80s?
target.
The 80s,
Tears for Fears.
I still love everything about it.
Did
If I had to
ya?
pick a favourite,
See,
it's like...
Jane, what
Right.
else are you going for?
Right.
Films? What do you like?
I'm going to go for films.
Nice
But
one.
like a specific...
Yeah, I
just a
could've
couple
gone
of films that I like.
Put your phone on. Let's have a look at your playlist. Yeah. Let's have a look at your last playlist. There we go. Let's have a look at Roy.
I don't think that's got a playlist on.
It's an
He's got an
It's an
iPod.
iPod. This is. I love it. You know what I love when I watch that? His hands when he's happy to do it. Look at it.
Do you actually turn
You
your
can carry
phone?
on chatting.
Do you
Let's
turn
get
your
going.
phone
You know what?
off?
On the back of this episode, he's going to get a new iPhone off someone, isn't he?
won't.
No, I have a new one. I have a new one on. But
He just doesn't use
Do you
it.
turn your phone off all the time?
when we're on here, yeah, because we're chatting.
But you can just put it on silent.
They haven't, that's not on the update on that one yet.
Do you know what his? Do you know what his passcode is? 1999. I just seen it.
You're going to have to change it.
His alarm code as well. Change the alarm, his gate code.
Rolling
Indie
Stones.
mix, Rolling Stones.
Hang on. So he's got...
Like different like mixes, 80s mix.
Right, next stick to football.
let's carry on with
We've
this.
got to
This is
answer
good.
10 questions on our chosen subject.
Oh
As a quiz.
God.
Jesus Christ,
What
what's
is
wrong
that?
with you?
Donna.
I've just thought of it. It's,
I'm still on what I had.
Holiday.
What's that?
I know that
What
one.
was the other one? What's the second
Film.
one? Films.
Films he wants to do.
Films.
He wants to, you don't want to do films?
Anyway, right, number 7. What would you rather... Oh, my goodness gracious.
Just want you to keep them on.
Would you rather stop watching football forever, but could watch any other sport, or give up every other sport and watch only football?
Football.
Just watch football.
I would give up every other sport
Yeah.
easily.
That's not even a
And just
question,
watch
is it?
football.
Yeah.
We all
Did you watch a boxing?
I did. Just some,
I don't know if I liked
There's part
it.
of it that's a bit... I've enjoyed the boxing over the last few years, but there's part of it that's a bit like...
I know, I didn't like
horrible.
it.
It's horrible watching someone...
The power on those punches.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
at that level as well, James, as you know, because you know boxing as well as you Roy, is that any heavyweight, they catch you. But for him to come out, for Anthony Joshua to come out with the experience he's got up to this point, and he's fought big fights, to fight like a first timer. His arms were down here with a guy that can punch. You know what I mean? From the time he came out, he must have known that Dubois was going to come out fast.
I love AJ.
He wasn't even blocking.
I do love him, but seeing him trying to get back up, at one point I was like, is this sport?
How good is
like
age? How good is age? I mean,
I'm just never going to comment on a boxer for me, because that they go in the ring and just beat.
Jem, you know
Yeah.
what? It's baffling. It's baffling for him to the experience he's had and the fights he's had up to this point, for him to go in and fight like that. He shouldn't be fighting.
Does he still want to fight? You know?
You know something?
He said the next day or the day after he was gone, he had a hunger still there.
You know something? He obviously speaks very, very well. And I'm watching the fight, and the way it built up, I thought, wow, he looks very intense. Then afterwards, you think to yourself, was he too intense? Wasn't it?
The only thing I would ask about boxing is that, and I'm not going to comment on the fighters, but why is it when we lose all the time at football? You know, we lose leagues, you lose Champions League games, you get knocked out every single year.
Yeah.
Right? They lose. He's lost let's say he's lost 4 times his whole life, but he loses on Saturday. Why would it not be natural for him just to think, well, okay, I'll carry on fighting. I lost.
it's a big thing, a loss in boxing.
I know it's big. But we've become accustomed to thinking you lose, you've got to retire. But
I think in boxing, if we're being totally honest, boxers are almost managed, and opponents are picked for at a certain stage. It's a bit like, right, we need to get you to. When you get to the elite level, then that's where Anthony Joshua was lost in title fights to get that. But on the way up, when we say, you know, a fighter's not lost in his first 20 fights, a lot of them, they're managed to make sure, you know, navigated to sort of get to a certain, you know, because obviously a lot of money riding on it for a lot of people in that. But yeah, I think when you look at when you look at a boxer and he's coming into a world title fight, and before they'll say, you know, his age, how many fights he's had. When you see a fighter and he's lost 2 fights or 3 fights, you go, whoa, that's almost like someone at that level, shouldn't have that record, but you're almost surprised if someone's lost 2 or 3 fights when they're fighting for a world title fight. Do you know what I mean? I think Joshua now, that's 4 times.
What age is he? What age is he?
35, 34, 35.
So right, he's obviously worth hundreds of millions. I go back to it, and even if you watch fighters in the ring, they must lose that hunger. And they always want one more fight. That's when they get back.
That is a problem with boxing, isn't it?
It is.
They always
it's
wanna...
wellness.
And then you can see as well.
The history of boxing, boxers don't know when to stop.
Because
the Tyson Fury fight would have been next if he won that fight.
But Jill, you said it. When he was trying to get up off the floor
honestly.
and he couldn't move his body.
Because he's an incredible athlete. Like, the mindset to keep trying to get up, I actually felt sorry for him in the end. I was like, is he going to be okay? Because the trainer ran on, didn't he?
Can I ask you something? You know, whenever these big boxing fights, or wherever it was, women, I'm intrigued by these boxers who are brilliant boxers, then they all have security around. Why do you need security? You just knock people out.
That is so
6 foot 8, they've got
true.
loads of security. Why?
That is so true.
It's ridiculous.
Right. You're going to the NFL a week on Saturday.
I'm going to watch a game, yeah.
Who's the game?
Jets v Vikings. But it's at Spurs.
Oh, I'm going? Yeah?
Well, I'm not sure.
Of course you're going, Jill.
Are you going, Jill?
Yeah,
me
I am
too.
going.
Me
I
too.
actually am going. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. My brother's a massive NFL fan, so he's coming over from Madrid. So yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm looking forward to
Jill,
it.
you're looking well, you know.
Oh, thank
She's
you.
done well. Layla, great job on Jill.
We've just set up a friend's
Are you in the
date,
prawn
so-
sandwiches? Are you in the good seats? Or
Yeah,
where
she's
are you?
in the
I don't know,
Are
actually.
you both paying for your tickets,
Just-
or are you getting? Are you declaring on hospitality?
Yeah.
I actually don't know what tickets I'm getting yet. You're going to need security if it's at Tottenham. You'll
Nah,
need
he'd be
them.
Right, they love him at Tottenham. They know he's a Tottenham fan.
Spurs fan.
Oh.
I don't want to be any Spurs fans here. I want to be American football.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's good.
That'd be good.
I nearly went to the boxing as well, but I did.
Well,
wanna
you'd be
go.
getting to the NFL, wouldn't you?
You get invited everywhere.
No, I
America a
don't.
lot.
I don't.
Yeah.
I probably
Did you go
would
to
have
New
bought
York? Well,
tickets.
it's the Jets you're playing. You must like the Jets or the Giants, the two of you, because you're networking over there.
I'm not into NFL that much. To be honest
Oh,
with you,
be
no.
careful! Don't put that out. You're podcasting.
You're jeopardising.
You just lost a few million customers.
I'm a baseball man myself.
You pitched, haven't you?
I did pitch actually, yeah. The Chicago.
Who's your team? Which team do you like?
Chicago Cubs I went to watch. No, Chicago White Sox. Is it White Sox?
Yeah, that's a baseball
Yeah,
team.
Chicago White Sox, yeah.
He pitches every
good
week
guess.
a new job.
Right, I think that's a place to finish. Anyone got anything to say before we finish?
No. Sorry, going back to that question, would you not miss out of sports, watching snooker, boxing?
You know, that's what I see. Yeah,
American
just-
football.
I'd miss golf.
I couldn't give up football.
I'd miss golf. I'd miss
couldn't
like the Ryder Cup,
Golf?
like watching the
couldn't
Ryder
give up
Cup.
football.
Golf's boring, isn't it?
No, it's not boring. Not when you're not the Ryder Cup, mate. No chance. No, that's
Yeah, but that's every 2 years, isn't it?
yeah. But then if I had to give up everything, but I could watch golf every 2 years, but then only football, I'd do that.
Okay, I'm running this podcast on one more question. What sporting event in the world would you most like to go and watch that you've not watched? I'm going to go first. Ashes, England, Australia, in Australia. And I want Sky
good
Sports
shout.
to give me a week off next Christmas when
To
it
go and
is
do it.
to go
Well,
and
they're
do
giving
it.
you weekends off to go to America, aren't they, to NBC?
Are you asking?
So are you going to be based in America and fly over here for this? Your base is still here, right?
How are you still
would you like to go
married?
see that you've not been-
How is he still married?
Seriously, can we answer the question?
Honestly,
No,
how
can
is
you
he
answer
still
the
married?
I'd like to go to the Super Bowl game.
You
I'd
must
like
have
to
the
Super
most
Bowl.
patient
You gotta go to
wife.
the
Super Bowl. Ashes, Super Bowl.
Let me have a think. It's something we've not been to.
We've not been to.
Oh, I know. I'd want to go and watch the Lions in South Africa or
Wow,
Australia.
yeah.
Well done.
Not Australia.
Great
it's
shout,
easy.
James.
Easy in Australia.
Well done.
It'd be brilliant
South
in South
Zealand.
Africa.
South Africa's at the same time.
Jill.
No jet lag.
I'm looking forward to the NFL. I've never been before, so.
Oh, is that your first game?
Yeah.
So Super Bowl then maybe?
Yeah, well, Roy said he's taken us all. Can you remember?
Oh, he did, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Men's trip.
Oh,
He did.
yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You did mention
he
that.
did. A stick
Good
to
shout,
football
Jill.
trip
See? Yeah.
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Look
what
forward
a
to that.
sport, man. Honestly, let me answer that question. Help me out here. I was helping you with this.
Yeah, I know. Formula One. No.
I've been to the Formula One.
Sorry, Gat. Sorry.
Been to the snooker. Done the Super Bowl.
You've done everything.
Ireland,
Kind of that.
You've
Kind
done
of,
everything.
World Cup.
kind of that.
Have you been in the World Cup final?
Yeah.
You've done a lot.
He's very.
What about-
He's done everything. He's Anaraki. He's done everything.
What about one of the football derbies that you've not been to globally?
Maybe.
What about a World Cup
The
final?
one
He just said
Argentina.
he just
Oh, you've been to a World
River
Cup
Plate.
final?
River Plate Boca.
Of course we have.
Maybe.
Oh, that's a
It was on
good
the
one.
TV with him.
That's a good shout.
River Plate Boca is.
Yeah,
That
maybe.
would be a good one for
yeah,
our
a little
tour.
trip to Argentina.
That would have been a good
I've
one.
I had a tour of them two grounds, but obviously not been to a game.
You know what as well? You know what one I'd see, but I've already seen it, is the Kaiser Chiefs and the Orlando Pirates in South Africa. Is unbelievable.
Have you seen the ice hockey? That's good. I've seen the ice
Is it?
hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's proper
What's it called?
fights
The
and
Stanley Cup?
everything.
Is that the final? The
Stanley
Stanley
Cup,
Cup?
if you
Is
win
that
that.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I'd
Stanley
like
Cup.
I'd like to go to the basketball
Yes.
final. rather
Maybe,
than-
yeah.
rather than-
No, not the basketball.
No, the
Have you
Super Bowl. The
watched it
Super Bowl
live?
final is amazing.
Yeah.
You know
I've
about
seen the
entertainment,
basketball. I've seen the
music.
basketball game.
The atmosphere. It is cool.
It's not enough for me.
Who was the halftime act when you went to the Super Bowl?
Coldplay were one of them. Is it Jennifer Lopez as well?
Do you actually listen to it?
Yeah, you do. The halftime entertainment is
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, it goes on for about a half an hour.
Yeah. Right, that's the end of Stick to Football this week.
All right. See you later. Oh.
Well done.
Well done, Gary. Well done. Jamie.
Well done, lads.
Let me hug you, Jill, because
Well
you
done,
look
team.
amazing.